All right, guys, in this video, I'm going to show you the multiple ways to make your 808s hit in FL Studio from free to paid. Firstly, let's hear an example. So the real secret here is the soft clipper. So if I take off the soft clipper and the limiter, here's what it sounds like. It just sounds like clipping and distortion. So what we're going to do is turn the 808 up. I give you permission to turn the 808 up. If you go to the pre-computed effects and use the boost knob here, this will turn the 808 up. People telling you to add clip, this will actually make your 808 less boomy and more kind of boxy sounding. Like this. So that's one way to add more harmonics. But it sounds thin and compressed. So just turn up boost, and I recommend not to clip unless you specifically want that sound. My favorite way to make the 808s knock is to boost at 60 hertz and 75 hertz, just in that range. This is just my favorite way because it boosts up the frequencies that really makes the car shake. Okay, so you got to figure out which octave or which note your 808 is closer to. I'll exaggerate this so you guys can hear. Okay, so I like to boost heavy at 60 and 75 hertz to really pull up those tones. I don't always boost 5 dB, but I'm just showing you guys those frequencies that get the car moving. Okay, nextly, we're gonna go into a soft clipper. This is T-Rack's classic clipper, but you can also go through Fruity Soft Clipper. I'll show you a couple ways to clip that you probably didn't even know in FL Studio. If you go to Fruity Soft Clipper, this is the first known version. On the left side, this is soft clipping. So basically you have to turn the volume up going into this plugin. I'll exaggerate so that you guys can hear. But if you want to quickly kind of adjust the volume going into it, add an EQ before it, and then use this left side over here to turn up the gain. Let me turn on the plugins, that would help. So the soft clipper has its own unique sound. So what I'll do is I'll kind of pull the volume off and on, so like push it in harder. So here's before the soft clipper. So you're not getting much of that scratchy tone, but once we start boosting into the soft clipper, it starts compressing the sound. Now that's different than hard clipping. Hard clipping is when you turn this to the right side, okay, and then we'll do the same thing. It just gives you a different tone. Gives you more of a scrapey tone. Okay, so it depends on which timbre you like. There's no right or wrong one. So again, soft clipping is on the left, hard clipping is on the right. So that's the free version. I like going into what's called T-Rack's Classic Clipper by IK Multimedia. So I have this on hard clip mode, and the 808's already boosted going into this plugin. So I usually go around 3 dB of gain reduction. Anything over that is kind of extreme. No rules though. I don't want to box you guys into a box. Let's turn it off. Here's off. Just adding those extra harmonics. Just extra crunch. It's not overly done to where it sounds like saturated mess. And what I do when I'm making beats is add Waves L2 to the master track. So I'm hearing everything that I'm doing going through this. That also helps me level too. Level my sounds. So the 808 already hit hard to begin with. Let me show you some more advanced, not even advanced, some more not known ways to do the same exact thing in FL Studio. So firstly, let's open up the Fruity Limiter. You probably didn't know the Fruity Limiter has a saturation knob on it. So when you pull this to the left, it saturates the sound. And then if you want to hear more of it, turn up your gain into it. So it's a different type of saturation. So you can see how much gain reduction we're getting. That's pretty significant from -3. That's about, what, 4? It's about 7 dB of gain reduction. So 0 is the line there, up to -4. So somewhere around here is the same settings as T-Rack's Classic Clipper. Also, there's 2 modes of saturation in the Maximus plugin. If you turn this to the left, you get one style. If you turn it to the right, you get a different style. It sounds a little louder on the right setting, so you're gonna have to adjust the gain to really compare. I like the right setting better, probably because it's louder. So if you're using Maximus, make sure you go to each tab here and just reset this compression to 0 so that it's not compressing. You don't want any ghost compression here, so pull those all the way diagonal, or else you may have compression without knowing. So I bet you guys didn't know about that. And now we're going to get into more advanced stuff. You don't need to know all these techniques. There's a lot of them out there. Any kind of tape saturator can also add edge to a nice 808. Let's do an envelope generator. I'm just going to move quicker here because this is not a tutorial. It's just showing you what you could do. And what we're going to do is set the threshold here to where it captures just the peak of the audio. And it crunches the 808 when it peaks. So what I'll do for this is turn the 808 down a little bit. I forgot we had the EQ on. Okay, so every time that peak hits, it's going to trigger the saturation and add that crunchy tone. So this way, if I had the threshold all the way down, it would always crunch and it would just sound too buzzy, okay? But you can try out different distortion types too. Saturation types. My favorite though is warm tape. It just sounds the best to me. Okay, so that's one other technique. There's so many more techniques. I'm going to show you a couple more and then we'll wrap this video up. If you want to learn more, just go to busyworksbeats.com/premium. I'll show you guys even more techniques on beat making, FL Studio, all types of stuff there. So what we're going to do is set a low pass filter here to everything below, let's say 150 hertz. And we're going to saturate that using the saturation knob. This is going to create what's called upper harmonics for these lower frequencies. And it's going to make the 808 stand out just a little bit more. But you got to be careful not to overly saturate because that's when you lose the roundness of the low end because you're squaring off the sound too much. That one's a little more subtle because I soloed it. There's another technique I just remembered with K-Clip or any clipping tool you guys may use. So this one's called K-Clip. There's standard clip. There's we did the classic clipper. What I'm going to do is lower the threshold to capture the transients of the sound, and it's going to create this scrapey tone. I'm going to exaggerate so you can hear it. Most of the time when you hear the 808 clipping in hip hop, they're using a clipper that just chops off the top of the audio. So you can see before you get this round shape, pointy shape. After, I'm going to exaggerate. It's more boxed off, so I'm chopping off the edges of the sound. There's different modes. You can have crisp mode, tube mode. Let's go through all of them. And then you can push the input gain in just to make it work even harder. But let's try different modes here. Tape sounds pretty cool. Now this is the exaggerated one. You can really hear it there. Okay, so that's how I would use a clipper. So there's so many ways to add more edge. There's even, I just thought of one just now, Fruity Fast Distort. Some people like, I just don't like the sound. So I'm not telling you guys what to do and what not to do. I'm just showing you ways people get tones for the 808. They'll put it on B mode most of the time and blend the mix level. Now, I don't want this string to run through there. So some people like that tone. I don't think it sounds that great. But there's different styles of distorting the sound and saturating the sound. I just thought of another one for you guys. You're getting bonus. Fruity Wave Shaper. It's another one. You can pull this curvature up like this and click this gear icon and pull down the mix level to blend it in. If you right click a point and make this more squared by right clicking these to make it straight, it becomes more distorted. So that's how you get more of a distorted sound. But for a less distorted sound, just make it curve like this and blend the mix level. And then again, you have pre and post, meaning if you go pre-boost it in, it will work harder and just level it with the post. Push the pre. So you get different tones for different things. Again, go to busyworksbeats.com/premium and you'll learn so much more. Thank you guys for watching. It's Game from busyworksbeats.com. Peace.